Guys, welcome to Sippin' and Spillin' with Sid from 3 Mississippi. Woo, it's been a long day and it's just now 3 o'clock and I still have a long ways to go. I'm actually, I'm waiting for Mike right now. You guys may remember I mentioned he's on vacay this week, which means basically he usually takes the week of his birthday off. It's usually kind of his planting week where he gets a lot of things done in the garden and gets some projects done, and he just sort of takes that week and chills. In years past, we've gone like somewhere around there too. He'll usually only take a couple of days, but we've gone, when we lived in California, we would go to Vegas for a little while and do like Frankie's birthday and his birthday, because they're only like 2 weeks apart. So he's, getting his dental appointment out of the way, and he went to the doctor this morning, and we went and picked up a bunch of pine shavings for the garden, and not pine shavings, but pine bark for the garden. And, it was more than I thought we were picking up, and it was more than, it was okay, but it was a very top heavy load, which I don't like driving with, and I personally would not have agreed to that situation if I had known in advance. I thought we were getting like 30 bags of like maybe 2 cubic feet or something like that, but I guess it was 3 cubic feet, and it's the bark, not the shavings, which for some reason I had in my mind that it was shavings. Anyway, so it was on a big pallet and it was just stacked 30 bags, and it was a lot. So I was like, ooh, but he got a really good deal on it, so that's why we did it. It was only like $4 a bag, and normally it's like, I don't know, some ridiculous amount. So it was a good deal. And anyway, so we went and did that, and we're just trying to bang some stuff out. We've got the geotextile fabric is coming tomorrow, which I thought we had gotten it from somebody like locally and they were bringing it and installing it. I'm a little out of sorts on exactly how the gravel project is getting done in the next week, because from what I can tell, Mike has not officially ordered the gravel yet, and he still hasn't fully answered me on if we are spreading it, if the guy that's bringing it is partially spreading it, or because the quote was quite considerably higher than we thought. It was almost double than the amount that Mike thought, but it was right about what I thought it was going to be. So I know that he found it a little bit cheaper, but again, I don't know where he kind of left off with that. So I'm not sure exactly what's happening with that project at the moment. All I know is that it is happening this week, at least to some degree. May not get it completely done this week, but it's going to be mostly done, or at least started. Dan got out again today, and unfortunately, wherever he got out, Mike said that because he put the goat camera a little bit too close to the goats, and so he's like, I need to move it back a little ways to be able to see more of the pen, to really see where he got out. And the other camera that catches the wide view, because it has a motion sensor, so it doesn't give you like constant false alarms. He said that he thinks it's too far away to have caught the motion of it. So he hasn't checked that one yet. Plus we were kind of in a hurry to get out and go get the pine bark and get him to the dentist and all that. So I think he's getting under the fence. I think he's getting under the fence. I really do. I know goats can climb. I know that they can jump. I'm well aware. I know all of these things. I also know that they like to squeeze through tight spaces. And I know my goats. I've had these goats for several years now, and I know their MO. I think they are squeezing under the gate. Or not under the gate necessarily, but under the fence rather. That's what I think they're doing. I don't think they're going over. I think there's a couple spots where he's figured out he can shimmy if he's going over, there is a couple spots where the oh, what do you call it? Not the T-post, the H-brace is, that I'm like, he could be using that to help him get up and get over, like a stepping stone. Possible. So, but we left for a little while and came back to drop off the pine bark, and he hadn't gotten out again. I gave them a little bit of feed in the meantime, because I don't give them grain every day. I give them grain when when the girls are like nursing, or showing obvious signs of pregnancy. I'll give them a little bit of grain. I'll give them grain when I'm doing their hooves to distract them, when I have to give them shots for their CD&T, that stuff. I'll give them some then. But generally, they have their grass and they have their hay in the winter, and I don't really supplement them with anything else. I don't really need to. But I know sometimes when, right now their pasture's coming back, and they're still having hay, but he sees all the greenery out around in the garden, and he's like, oh, well, there's more food over there. So I'm like, well, maybe if I give him some grain, at least today, we'll keep him corralled. So we'll see if he's still in the pen when we get home after the dentist. And then I had to run to the feed store. I don't know if you guys can see the corner of that bag. I had gotten feed last week, and I had gotten a bag of oats for Beulah, the horse, because in the morning and in the evening, we give her just a little bit of oats. It's more to establish a routine, to have that time with her. A horse trainer had recommended that. And, I think it's good. She's established a routine. I think it's helped. We have our little routine with it, and that's when I brush her out, and that's when, she gets her loves and her eye boogers cleaned out, and, that's when she gets her fly spray, if it's that time of year, all that kind of stuff. So, that seems to be working. So a bag of rolled oats lasts a long time, because I'm only giving her a little bit, and in the morning she gets her Mare Magic to keep her from being a complete raging, what. So, and I mix it with the oats, so she gets that every morning. Anyway, so that's just, this one bag will last a long time, but I was almost out, and when I got home and was unloading the truck, I realized that they left that bag out, but I checked my receipt and they had charged me for it. So I called them, and they were like, oh, just come by, go to the back and just show him, and he'll load you up. And he knows me, so it wasn't no biggie. Got it handled. But I wasn't able to go there until today, because they have Wednesday, they only are there part of the day, and then I think Friday they're only there part of the day too, maybe. And anyway, Saturday they were only there part of the day, and then closed Sunday, and we were gone Friday and part of Saturday. So today was the first day I had a chance to, I was gonna be in town, I could go by and I could get it. So dropped Mike off and went and grabbed it. And I had to clean the I got the,
was it good for you too?
Last batch of the that's my phone uncharging. I don't know if that was audible on there or not. I guess we'll find out later. But anyway, my car just shut off. Even though I had everything turned off, it was still running on the battery, and it's plugged into that. So there you have it. Anyway, it just totally derailed me. That's what happens, man. My hamster falls off that wheel, and I'm like, what? But anyways, it's gonna be a busy week. I hadn't realized we've got bunco tonight. Normally we have it the second Monday of the month, and we only do it 9 months out of the year. But we had to push it back because of spring break, and people were going to be gone and had stuff going on, so we pushed it back till today. So it wasn't on my radar, and I realized it the other day. I was like, wait, we never had bunco. And then I was like, wait, that's right, we moved it, and I looked, but then I forgot again. And then they posted, we have like a bunko group message thing, and they posted in there, don't forget we have bunko tonight. And I was like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot. I'm supposed to pick Frankie up because she's got practice after school till 7. Mike's like, don't worry, I can go get her. I'm like, okay, thank you, because I'm like, I totally forgot. But now I'm also partially wondering, because they're kind of keep elevating our wind advisory for tonight and the level of the storm that we're going to get this far north. So I'm almost like, are we going to cancel bunko tonight? Because it kind of sounds like it might be cruddy outside. And sometimes when it is, we all just say, forget it. Let's, we'll postpone it or we'll cancel it or whatever. So I don't know. We didn't get a video out this Sunday. We had planned to. We had 2 different ideas for one. Both were more like Mike oriented videos that he was gonna kind of be the lead on, I guess you could say, and I was just gonna like edit them. And I kept telling him, I was like, hey, I need to make sure I have it filmed by Wednesday, because I need to be able to edit it and turn it around so that I can have it done before I leave to go to Birmingham for the concert that we took Frankie to. And he was like, I'm going to take care of it. Well, then he got busy and things happened and he didn't. So we didn't get a video out on Sunday this week, which was a bummer, because I was back on our good schedule and then now not so much. So, I guess I'm just going to start over again and get us back on schedule. It happens. It's fine. Not the end of the world, but I do try to keep us on schedule. And it's funny because we'll go really, really well for like a really long time. Like, I think I had us on a streak there where I think we only missed like 1, maybe 2 postings for like a year or more. And now this last couple months we've missed a lot because things got a little, I guess, chaotic. But I think I've got a couple videos that I'm kind of working on that I'll definitely have one for Friday and for Sunday. My goal is to kind of get some editing done. I thought I was gonna be editing tonight, but I'm gonna be playing bunko. So I think I'm gonna be trying to get some editing done tomorrow. We got a pressure washer, which I think I mentioned to you guys. We found a real good deal on it's a battery powered little portable one that you stick the hose in the bucket. So it's not going to be as crazy strong potentially as, the old, gas powered one, but, we'll find out. There's a few things that I want to clean because now that we're coming out of winter and getting into spring, the siding on the house needs cleaned off, and like the areas around the windows, and pressure wash the back patio and just some stuff like that, just to get some things kind of clean. So I want to do that, and I'm hoping I might have time to do it tomorrow, but I don't know. And then I took some of my hostas are really coming in right now. And so a couple of the pups I transplanted to a spot where there was nothing. And I had bought a couple hostas, and I realized, I thought I put them in the right spots, but as the other hostas were coming up, I realized that I put it one of them I put right next to one that was already there. And I was like, well, that's not where I meant to do that. So anyway, it wasn't really rooted in yet. So it was real easy to just make a new spot for it and dig a hole and plant it. And then I took some of the pups, and another gap that I had, I planted it there. So hopefully that will now make it look like I have a complete row of hostas in the front, which is what I wanted, because those things last. I mean, we're at the end of March. They're already coming up like crazy. I mean, one of them's already like this big. And I know that it's my really big one. That's the one that gets like real big. And so they last, let's see, March all the way till, gosh, they start really looking sad by the end of November into December. They start looking sad. But then they come back, so they're such a fun plant because they're very easy. They just do their thing, and you really don't have to do anything to them. I'm like, that is my kind of plant, just goes away in the winter and then it comes back. And it goes away and then it comes back. Like, sign me up. So anyway, but so I want to try to get that pressure washing done because we're going to have some friends over this weekend because Good Friday, we got church in the afternoon, but it's also Mike's birthday. So, and we have church Thursday night. It's a very busy week. We got church Thursday night, we got church Tuesday night, we got our live Wednesday. In between that, there's stuff I have to pick Frankie up late on Tuesday. I have to pick her up at the school at like, I think that's the night I got to pick her up super late. Because she's working the concession stand at the ball game or something for her volunteer hours for some program she's in. I don't know. Anyway, for her good grade thing, I forget what it's called, the beta somethings. Anyway, so I'm just like every day I'm like, tonight I told Mike, I was like, and I thought I was going to be able to get to bed early tonight, but now I have bunco. And so he's like, you went to bed early last night. I said, no, I did not. I went to bed at like 10:30. That is not early. That is not early, sir. His definition of going to bed early, my definition of going to bed early are very different. But I told him, I said, ever since the time change, I said, I've been struggle busting. And he said, well, the time change shouldn't have affected you like that. I think there's something else wrong with you. There very well could be something else wrong with me. I don't necessarily mean that it's the time change that messed with me. I think that there was several days in a row where every night I was up until like 1 a.m. because I had a couple issues with YouTube that I was fixing. I had stayed up late to edit and then still getting up at, 5:30, 6 o'clock to start my day every day and having some really crazy busy days with no downtime in between. I just haven't had a chance to catch up on my sleep, and then didn't get any sleep in Birmingham. I just need to play a little bit of catch up, I think. But that's okay. I'll get there. So I'm just going to try to chip through this week as best I can. It's just a long list of things that I want to get done during the day. And we've got people coming over on Friday for his birthday. We're going to barbecue, which means Thursday, I like to do my big, I'll wait till Thursday to do my big clean for the week and try to get the pressure washing done before then. And then I think there's somebody else is coming to the house one day this week to do something. I know the gutter guy came to give us a quote on installing gutters in a couple of areas. So I think he said maybe that was, I honestly don't know. I need to find out. And kind of get the skinny on all of that. But I think I will survive the week. It's just going to be a matter of like staying on top of stuff and somehow also finding time to edit on top of all of that. I think my video for Friday that I'm putting together, I don't think it's going to be too hard for me to like lay it out the way I'm picturing it. But sometimes I think that, and then I get into the footage and I'm like, oh, this video is going to take me longer than I thought because I filmed it weird or I filmed it out of order and I'm going to have to search for this or that. And it happens sometimes. So we'll see. But I think I might have to pull a couple late nights and then I don't know. And then Sunday's Easter. So Easter Sunday is going to be busy. Actually, Easter Sunday won't be as busy, to be honest. We'll have church and then we'll have Sunday lunch with our neighbors that are like our family now. And so we'll have like Easter lunch with them. And then, which I need to make kind of there's a bunch of stuff I got to cook for that. So I need to figure out when I'm going to do that too. Because I have to prep it ahead of time. But then there's no youth or anything that night. So I'll get a little bit of a reprieve in like a week on Easter. That'll work. Yeah. So it's just a busy week. It's just go, 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 go. Oh, and then Wednesday I have to pick Frankie up from school because we have a thing at church. We have our monthly pantry box thing. So we got to go do that on Wednesday. It's just a lot like every day. So I think one day what I might do is just get up really early and like edit for maybe an hour or two in the morning before it's light enough for me to even do my chores, and then kind of do things backwards, because then sometimes when I do it that way, sometimes I feel like I get more done. Because sometimes if I go out and do my chores, because this is what happens. Once I go outside to do the animal chores, I'm like, oh, like this morning, perfect example. I was like, oh, I started with the brooder, which I already knew I was going to do, but I didn't anticipate it taking me as long as it did, because I got these other shavings, which I don't like. And anyway, it's just a nightmare. So they get wet, really nasty really quickly. And so I had just cleaned the brooder, and it was already it looked like I hadn't cleaned it in a month. And I'm like, I cleaned it a few days ago. It's a disaster. So it's too heavy for me to lift it. So I got to shovel it all out. Anyways, the whole thing. So then, I took and they're off of heat and everything. So I left the garage door open before it got so windy so that they could acclimate a bit. And they've been off heat now for probably a week or a week and a half. And this next week, Saturday, we're processing birds. So I'll be moving these guys out there. And then the following, week, we get new birds coming in. So there's just like, just constant stuff happening. Lots of things happening. All the things. But I will get it done. We'll get it done. I know we will. I'll get distracted when I go out there to start my animal chores, and I'll be like, oh, I should shovel this out, or, oh, this stock tank looks dirty. I'm going to go ahead and scrub this out today. And all these little things end up adding like 2 more hours to my chore list. And then by the time I come inside, I'm like, oh, it's now 11:30, and I still need to like straighten up the inside, because I do like my morning straightening up. Like I'll start the dishwasher, finish whatever like dishes got left in the sink the night before, which sometimes I do them the night before, but then I go to bed earlier, and then sometimes other people leave dishes, and so then I finish them in the morning. And then the coffee cups and all that from the morning I'll do, and start the dishwasher and whatever, or at least load it if it's not full. And, take out what I'm going to prep for dinner, and if it's something that needs to go in the Instant Pot or the crock pot, all that stuff that we do. And then, wipe down the counters and straighten up the living room, and do, vacuum the floors real quick and all that kind of stuff. So, and then today it was I need to do the hosta plants. I keep forgetting to uproot them and fix them. So I did that today, and it was like, all these little things that just kind of add up, and then you're like, oh, I was outside longer than I planned. So by the time I come inside to start editing and and I had to call our insurance company, and it's you stupid boring stuff that you end up having to take care of, that just adds on all that time that you're then like, oh shoot, it's now 1 o'clock and I need to shower because we need to go and like run all these errands. So yeah, that's how it works. It's fine though. It's fine. We get it all done. We manage. Somehow we manage. And we will get through this week. And who needs sleep, right? Lots of caffeine this week, I think, will be the key. Lots of caffeine. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time for everybody. Yeah, be good. So anyway, it's a great week. It's a holy week. It's a week full of blessings, of being reminded that, as Lent comes to an end, that as we anticipate, Good Friday and the meaning behind the crucifixion and the resurrection, that we get to stop and focus on that a little bit. So I'm trying not to get so overwhelmed this week that I can't stop and appreciate that some too. So maybe that's a good reminder for all of us, not to get too overwhelmed this week, and to be able to stop and appreciate what this week represents. And in the scheme of things, me not getting an extra video out this week is not the end of the world, because it's just not in the scheme of things. So if there's more important things to be thankful for or occupied with than all the little mundane things that mundane things that won't register on the Richter scale, I suppose. So there's that. Anyway, guys, I've been babbling at you for a long time, so I will stop now. And I hope you all are having a very, very blessed day. I hope you're finding time to spend time with your family this week, and to remember what this part of the season means, and as Lent comes to an end. So appreciate you guys. Stay blessed, and safety's off.